Yeah. We've got the first place of dancers.
Yeah.
We've got half the mob from the studio here, all ready to go mad. We've got Mud on stage, and here they are with Tiger Feet.
Produced a tough, tense, brothel-creeping contest between the rock and roll revivalist factions, the tiger-footed Mudmen versus the souped-up Teds in the retro thread Shawaddy-Waddy. Oh, and Wimbledon's furry bin men, the Wombles.
We all got released by this fantastic sort of 70s of fun, and that was the spirit of rock and roll was really happening there, because that's what the whole thing was all about.
We wish you a wobbling Merry Christmas.
The Wombles Christmas record was in fact a kind of affectionate spoof on the Roy Wood Christmas record of I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day, which in itself was an affectionate spoof on all the Phil Spector records.
I thought Wombling Merry Christmas was an absolutely brilliant record. You know, that's a true Christmas classic.
British people have always looked to something that's fun when it's dark and dingy and horrible and everything's going on, crashing around their ankles. And I think the 3-day week, which was about the time the Wombles happened, people would look around for something that was, or react to something that came up, which was fun and just meant nothing. I mean, the Wombles don't mean anything.
We'd only just formed in '73. We didn't really see ourselves becoming that kind of glammy, sort of Christmassy type of band. But a year later, we had our own Christmas single, Hey Mr. Christmas.
Throw away your troubles, it's Christmas. Make this Christmas bright. Carols singing, bells are ringing. Santa comes tonight.
We literally sat down in the studio, a couple of guitars, and within a couple of hours, we'd got Hey Merry Christmas. Now, a year before, Slade had obviously had Merry Christmas Everybody. So it wasn't the word Christmas that we had a problem with, it was the word merry that we had a problem with. Somebody stuck their finger up and said, what about Mr. Christmas? And everyone said, well, who the hell's Mr. Christmas? I said, well, it's Santa, isn't it? It's our version of Santa. So we thought, yeah, we can live with that. The whole showbiz thing, you know, was very important at that time. Our Christmas record featured a choir of orphans from a school in Harpenden. And they were a lovely bunch of kids. I suppose to a degree we cashed in on the orphan thing, but it made a very, very nice Christmassy sound.
Let's welcome this week's guest, lead singer with the Mud, Les Gray. Les, has fame changed your life very much?
Yes. Everything just came together, really. At that time, you know, that 1 year was absolutely spot on. Everything clicked in together, even the roadies, even the road crew we had at the time was spot on. Like the Shiwaddy thing was sort of serious, you know, they were all like giving it the mean sort of look of rock and roll, you know. We're up there, two of us doing that. The drummer is behind there, I don't know what he was doing half the time, and I don't think he did either, you know, just a complete lunatic. And the guitarist is standing there looking like something that just walked down from a royal wedding.
That's right, that's right, that's right, that's right. Really love your tiger life. And that's neat, that's neat, that's neat, that's neat. Really love your tiger feet. I really love your tiger feet. Your tiger feet.
We were messing about in the studio, and I just started doing the Presley voice. We were doing a ballad of some sort. And it's nothing to do with the words or anything like that, or the tune. It's just the inflections that the guy used to put on his voice. I don't know how he does it, and I don't know how I do it.
What do you think of your new record?
Well, I love it.
Try to imagine a house that's not a home.
Lonely This Christmas started off as, I'd love to say it was a sincere tribute to Elvis Presley and all those people who take these songs very emotionally and seriously. But it wasn't. It was a complete another send-up. But then people took it seriously. People started crying. People were sitting in the front of the audience with tears rolling down their face. And I was going, oh my God, I was embarrassed.
At the time, it seemed quite profound that, yes, we were all having a good time, big tin Equality Streets playing Mousetrap, but there were people out there who couldn't afford Mousetrap or who'd split up from their partner and therefore were sitting eating Quality Street on their own.
I never really thought, you know, that there was any rivalry as such. I mean, Mud did to a degree sort of nick our image, if you like, prancing around in drapes. So I suppose, in a sense, that took the shine off of Shiwaddy Waddy a little bit.
It was a competition, but it was never any. There was never any kind of like, you bastards, we're going to get to #1 before you.
Mike Batt and I had been a conversation about it, and I think Dave Bartram was there as well from Shiwaddy Waddy. I think they were involved, and people were having bets on who was going to be #1 at Christmas.
We were selling about 30,000 records a day, if I remember rightly, on Wombly Merry Christmas. And I think Mud was selling fewer.
It'll be lonely this Christmas.
We went to the factory and they were knocking out 50,000 singles every day of Lonely This Christmas. And there was no way anybody else could have competed with that. I mean, it was just phenomenal.
We thought it had a chance. We'll always swear to this day that it was released a week too late.
We had something happen to us, which was that the original copyright owners of the Wombles came out with 9 different Christmas shows, all at the same time, which gave the impression there were 9 Wombles groups, which there weren't. There was only the one Womble group, which was the one I ran. And when the press got hold of this story that there were 9 Womble groups all over the country, they quite rightly blew it wide open. And our sales halved from 30,000 a day to 15,000 a day, which I, quite a bit teasingly, would say that's why Mud got #1 and we didn't.
And loneliness and an unlit Christmas tree. It'll be
You try and mind me into talking, it's impossible. I don't know why I thought of it, ventriloquist dummy. All I've got to do is sit there and wiggle my thumb. And I've never done it before, and we borrowed a little dummy, and I just sat in the dressing room with it, like, I wasn't talking or anything, I was just reacting to it. And everybody was collapsing, all the guys were absolutely going hysterics. So the dummy did this one, you remember last year, and and it works, you know.
You remember last year, when you and I were here, we never thought there'd be an end. And I remember looking at you then, and I remember thinking, the Christmas must have been made for us. Because, darling, this is the time of year that you really need love. When it means so very, very much.
It'll be lonely this Christmas.
I'm sitting doing all the thing, the rest of the guys are standing there looking like lemons, so we think, oh, what can we do, you know? And so it'd look good if there was loads of snow coming down, you know? So we spoke to the producer and said, can we have some snow? And he said, oh, yeah, I'd love to get by, but it's very expensive, the snow machines and all this. So we got a couple of big sacks of polystyrene stuff and put the ladder up behind, and the guys climbed up the ladder and did it from up the ladder, you know.
Merry Christmas, darling, wherever you are.
Knockout.
Apart from Dana and